Welcome to the award-winning Friday Night Sports Zone, brought to you by Generations Physical Therapy. Get ready for all the plays, all the scores, and some great fan action. Now, here's Anna Tarullo and Jake Siegel.
Welcome to the High School Friday Night Sports Zone alongside Jake Siegel. I'm Anna Tarullo, and Week 6 of high school football here in the Mountain State is finally here.
Yeah, Anna, so many teams right now trying to stay in the mix, and tonight we're going to let you know who looks good entering the second half of the season and who needs to clean things up as we enter season number 2. Keep it right here. The High School Sports Zone continues right now.
The Winfield Generals are taking on Polk. Generals are looking to hand the Dots their first loss this season. Down 21-8 midway through the second quarter, Winfield narrows the score down 21-14 on this touchdown score, but Polk would show no mercy when just seconds later Ethan Payne breaks off this 55-yard touchdown run. Hardly anyone lays a hand on him. 28-14 Polk. Payne has been outstanding this season. Winfield would try to answer back, but Nick Vance gets picked off by Toby Payne, who takes it down to the goal line there, and he is rewarded a few plays later with the touchdown reception to make it 35-14 Polk. Polk goes on to win it 56-21.
It's the Payne brothers.
I love it.
Bringing the Payne.
The House of Payne.
Ironton battling it out with Rock Hill tonight. Ironton feeling good about this one, coming off a big win against Chesapeake last week. So let's get right into the game. Third quarter action. Ironton is up 26-zip at this point. The Tigers with the football. Reed Caruso going to get the ball, forces his way into the end zone for the touchdown. The Tigers would attempt a 2-point conversion, but it falls unsuccessfully. Ironton would lead by a score of 32-zip. Later on in the third, the Reed man has the possession again. Braden Friend going to hand the ball off to Logan Hawkins. Hawkins is immediately shut down right there by Ironton's Reed Caruso, who just mentioned. Ironton hitting hard both offensively and defensively in this contest. Now near the end of the third, the Tigers with possession of the football. Gage Sailors hands the ball off to Cameron Deere. Deere runs it straight down the middle, pushing through the defense and all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. The extra point is good. Ironton ends the third quarter with a score of 39-0 in favor of the Tanks. Tonight was a blowout. Ironton with another big victory, 46-0, Anna.
Wow, they've been outstanding. And back into Ohio, the Chesapeake Panthers traveled down to Portsmouth to face off against the Trojans this evening. Now, Chesapeake suffered a huge loss last week to Ironton, while the Trojans are coming off a win last week against Colgrove. Let's see how the two teams matched up in the first quarter here. Chesapeake scored early, leading off the game 7-0. The Panthers kick off to the Trojans. Bryce Wallace with the return from 25 yards from the end zone. Wallace makes an excellent first down, setting it up for the next play. Now, after that first down for the Trojans, Drew Rowe hands the ball off to Talon Parker. Parker avoids the defense, running all the way for the 50-yard touchdown.
Wow.
Wow, that was amazing. Extra point is good. The score is tied at 7. All Trojans fight back strong early in the game. Next up here, it'll be a Trojans possession. Drew Rowe is looking to throw short, and he makes the connection with Bryce Wallace. Wallace stumbling through the defense, showing some power, definitely, as he pushes through into the end zone for the touchdown. Extra point is good. Trojans in the first quarter ahead with a score of 14-7. Now, tonight's game kept the fans on the edge of their seats, with each team making touchdown after touchdown early in the game. Tonight's win will go to the Trojans with a final score of 34-20.
Pretty good. Congrats to them.
Awesome.
The homecoming court was at St. Albans tonight in their game against Lincoln County. Something had to give because both these teams winless on the season so far. Up 18-6 in the third, the Red Dragons going to go for it on 4th and long, but the Panthers defense steps up with the sack on Justice Warner. Now, after the stop, the Panthers would drive the ball down the field, convert on this 4th down before the quarter would end. So early in the 4th quarter, they would inch closer to the goal line with this run by Austin Parsons, and that would set them up nicely. But on 4th and goal, Nolan Shimp can't connect with Parsons right here. The Red Dragons defense all over it, coming up with a big stop, and the Red Dragons defeat St. Albans 24-6. Lincoln County.
Wow.
Big winners, yep.
Stay with us. This Friday Night High School Sports Zone is off and running.
Yeah, and when we come back, South Charleston is one of the best young quarterbacks in Trey Dunn, but the Black Eagles are just 1-4. See if they can turn it around against the boys from Beckley. We'll have the answer and the highlights when we return.
We continue to roll on in this edition of the High School Friday Night Sports Zone. And Jake, South Charleston really needing a victory tonight.
That's right, Anna. And before we get to that game, the boys from George Washington also trying to tack on another W and land in the win column tonight as well.
Yep, it was homecoming at George Washington High School. They were taking on the Parkersburg Big Reds. The homecoming court looking spiffy in the crowd, loving the great weather and their friends on the field. GW got out to a 14-0 start very quick. GW's first drive in the third quarter, their handoff to number 12, Isaac Isabel, and Izzy rips off a big gain. He's pumped, driving inside the red zone here. Quarterback Curran Brown connects with number 20, Alex Mazelon, who takes it across the goal line. The kick ends up being good. GW is up 21-0. Now Parkersburg is not done though. After returning the kickoff, their first play from scrimmage, quarterback Bryson Singer is pressured. He scrambles and takes off all the way for a touchdown. He actually covered 70 yards.
That's huge.
Huge. Kick is good. 21-7 GW. The final was GW 34, Parkersburg 21.
Alrighty, the boys from Beckley trying to steal a victory over South Charleston, but check out who's in the house for homecoming. Former New England Patriot and Marshall standout Aaron Dobson. He won Super Bowl 49. Early first quarter were scoreless.
Awesome.
Trey Dunn, well, he can't find anyone, but that's okay because as he's done all season long, he uses his legs, and Anna keeps the play alive, and it pays off as Dunn gets into the end zone for 6 to give the Black Eagles a 6-point lead.
I love those uniforms.
Next, we're going to get you one, I promise.
I want one.
Next drive, SC moving down the field, and this time Dunn, who we just saw took off here with his legs, he's going to find one of his favorite targets. J. Dunn E-step and E-step right here. Going to make the nice catch. And
nice catch.
It looks like he goes in for the touchdown, but the ref's going to rule him out of bounds at the 2.
You know what? We need a pylon cam.
Number 13, a little OBJ-like style there, and Dobson, being a former wideout, loves the play.
Yes.
A few plays later, it's Demarius Turner who takes the give and does not look back. He's in for the end-around score. South Charleston led 34-0 at the half. They go on to win big over Woodrow Wilson, 55-0.
I'd also love one of the hats that Aaron was wearing.
We will do that as well.
Was cool.
We'll get you one.
Next show. All right, up next, we're at Hurricane. Huntington was visiting. 3-0 Hurricane, second quarter. Hurricane running back Nathan Barham goes around the end, cuts back, and is slammed to the turf by Huntington linebacker Brockton Blair. Love the name.
With the big hit.
Yes, with the big hit, Brockton Blair. Huntington punts now, and Hurricane gives it right back as Hunter Price jumps on the loose ball. However, Huntington is unable to capitalize. They are still 3-0 Hurricane. In the second quarter, Hurricane will start to mount a drive. Christian Hill, nice first down run. Couple plays later here, Hurricane's Nathan Barham will get the handoff. He's going to go around the end, cut back. He's going to juke a Huntington defender here and go in for the 40-yard touchdown. 10-0 Hurricane. Final score of the night. Hurricane wins it 24-7.
Good chance we see that play again before the show is over. And
absolutely.
in case anyone wants to bet,
Right?
if you're a betting man, take that bet.
Okay, time to go around the area and bring you up to speed on some other games. Let's pop up the big board. Mingo Central wins on homecoming. They take down Nitro 56-34. And Tyler Consolidated wins by 2 touchdowns over Buffalo. Final score 28-14 in that one.
Clay County doubles the score on Grafton, winning tonight 42-21, and it's Hoover over Wayne. Anna, the Huskies posting a 17-0 shutout. Good for them, considering they come off the loss last week at home, you know, in terms of their last opponent. So good for them. It's a 17-point beatdown.
And Logan shuts out Scott 35-0, and Elkins barely edges Roane County. They win by 2, 32-30. And still ahead on the high school football Friday Night Sports Zone, our play of the week.
Plus, Braxton County still winless on the year. See if the Eagles could change that tonight and earn their first W of the season. Stick around. The 13 Sports Zone continues after this quick timeout.
Jake, one of the biggest surprises of the year so far, the play of the Cabell Midland. The Knights, they enter tonight's game at 6-0, and we're looking to keep their winning streak going.
Yeah, Anna, there's always a lot to be made about streaks, but there's a good chance that Midland is super focused about tonight's task, even though the Tigers, who they're playing, come in with just 1 victory ahead of tonight's game.
Yeah, in the first quarter here, it's 7-0 Cabell Midland. Look at the cheerleaders. Cabell Midland running back Stephen Haas, first down run here. Look at him go, getting the first down. Next play up here, the halfback toss to Jaden Roten, and he takes it in from 9 yards out, making it 14-0 Cabell.
If they can continue to play this way, they're going to be one of the toughest teams to play during playoff time.
And I know they've battled through injuries, and here we see quarterback Josiah Roberts takes the handoff, takes it around the end, and dives into the end zone, making it 21-0 Cabell.
It's a pretty sweet play.
Yeah, these are just turning on to Cabell Midland highlights, but it's not like we're complaining about it. Cheerleaders there probably have a lot to cheer about. Cabell Midland again driving here, running back Jacob Cotto. We say his name a lot on the show. His first down run there.
For good reason, because of runs like that and because he's one of their star players.
And quarterback Josiah Roberts drops back and throws to tight end Zachary McCoy in the corner of the end zone. McCoy makes the diving catch. There's a lot of diving catches this game. 28-0 still in the first quarter there. Cabell takes the win, 54-7 against Princeton tonight.
All right, Braxton football trying to pick up its first victory of the year. It didn't look good early on. Nicholas County quarterback Luke LaRose calls his own number right here. He scampers into the end zone for the score to put the Grizzlies in front 6-0. Now, this is something Braxton worked on in practice. Quarterback Jet Koger with a deep pass. Jaden Stewart, oh yes, he is there all alone on the receiving end. This by far the biggest offensive play of the year we've seen from the Eagles, and they even the game up at 7. But LaRose could not be stopped on the ground. Poor tackling right here allows Nicholas County to once again retake the lead. But Cougar saying, whatever you can do, I can do better. This time, he takes the keeper and evens it up at 14.
Wow.
But that's as close as Braxton County would get, because the issue tonight was stopping that guy right there. Luke LaRose, he goes in for his third rushing TD of the game. And Nicholas County wins big over Braxton County, 47-14. The Eagles still searching for win number 1.
So much alliteration. Luke LaRose, Brockton Blair, and here 6-1 Spring Valley pays the visit to Riverside in their brand new turf. We picked this one up in the first. Timberwolves up 7 after a 15-minute delay when a spectator collapsed. Spring Valley goes up 2 touchdowns early, can't get the extra point on number 2 here, a dinger off the goalpost. They'll get another shot here after Corbin Page. He's going to reel in a 33-yard touchdown pass from Nate Ellis to go up 20-0. They nail it. It's Timberwolves 21-0 headed into the second quarter. Game gets delayed for another 25 minutes in the third. Warriors eventually get on the boards, but it's not enough. Spring Valley takes it 40-21 and moves on to 7-1.
All right, let's check out some scores from Ohio. It was Binford over Portsmouth West, 33-14, and Wheelersburg just dominated Oak Hill, putting up 55 and shutting out Oaks.
Fairland beat South Point handily at 52-13. And moving on to Kentucky, Raceland put the hammer on Betsy Lane. Final score of 67-0 in that one. That is impressive. No mercy rule, evidently. And Blazer keeps rolling. They beat East Carter by over 20.
Russell posts a shutout over Greenwhip County, 42-0 that score. Another shutout. It's Paintsville, 56-0 over Fairview.
Jake, we can't complete the show without play of the night.
All right, Anna, let's hit it. Hurricanes Nathan Barham going to get the handoff, goes around the end. Right here, watch the impressive cutback, jukes the Huntington defender.
I love the juke.
And 40 yards later, him and his juke are down the sideline, dancing in the end zone. It becomes a 10-0 Hurricane
breaking ankles
score. And Hurricane goes on to win 24-7. That play was a big part of it.
That's awesome. Now, Marshall looks to snap a 2-game losing skid as they welcome in Old Dominion. WVU hosts Iowa State at 4. I'm going to be at that game, and that game can be seen on ESPN. WVSU is on the road while the University of Charleston is at home. Kentucky and Ohio U are home. Ohio State has a bye week.
So lots of football for tomorrow. And for Tarullo, I'm Jake Siegel. Check out our post-game show. You can do so by going to WOWKTV.com. Click the live tab. We'll do it all again next week. Same time, same place. Have a great night, everyone.
Thanks for watching, guys.